boys and girls, today I'm going to show you how to make a clock, and you'll be able to answer the question, what time is it? So you start with a paper plate. Now I've already done some of the steps. It's not an easy project, so mommy or daddy or your sister would probably have to help you. If you can't make it, it's fine. You can come back here and just work on telling time with me here. What I did was, whenever you make a clock, you start by writing the 12 first. You put the 12 on top. Then you go all the way straight across and you write your 6 next. So I'm just going over what I've already done to show you. The next number you write is, you're going right across this way. You have to write your 3, and you have to write your 9. Then you can fill in the rest of the numbers. Now mine are already filled in, but I'll show you the 1, the 2, the 4, the 5, the 7, the 8, the 10, and the 11. So that is the best way to fill the numbers on the clock. Start with the 12, write the 6, go across here, do the 3, do the 9, and then you fill in the others. You have to try to make them the same space apart, okay? Then you're also going to need, you're going to have to make a big hand and a little hand cut from construction paper, and you need one of these paper fasteners. So it's like a circle on the top and it opens up over here. I had to use it from an old project I had. You don't want to go out and buy anything. Maybe you have one laying around, and you have to poke it through the middle. So that is how to make, and then you flatten it like that. That is how to make a clock of your own. Now we're going to talk about telling time. We have the big hand, which is the minute hand. We have the short hand, which is the hour hand. So I'm putting both hands on the 12, and that would be 12 o'clock. Now, then there's AM and PM, right? There's AM and there's PM. Now, if it was 12 a.m., it would be midnight. That's when the day starts, 12 a.m. If it was 12 p.m., that's called noon. We'd be having lunch around noon. We're going to go around the clock today, but only from hour to hour. So you know how to read the clock from hour to hour. So this, let's say, is 12 o'clock a.m. It's midnight. Now what would happen is the clock, after a whole hour goes by, right, the minute hand would go around, and you will learn the minutes also, but we're focusing on the hours today. And now the big hand's on the 12, the small hand or the hour hand is on the 1. And now this says 1 o'clock. So if it was 1 a.m., you'd still be sleeping. It's after midnight. And then the same thing would happen. The minute hand goes all the way around. Big hand, it goes all the way around. and you're still sleeping and you're dreaming. And now that says 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., 2 in the morning. And the way we write that, because I haven't shown you how to write it yet, would be 2, a dot, dot, and the 2 zeros. 2 o'clock. And if it's 2 a.m., you're in the middle of dreaming, hopefully. You're sleeping at 2 a.m. Then you're still dreaming. You're having an awesome dream. And the minute hand is turning. And it goes all the way around to the next hour. An hour goes by, and now it's 3 a.m. 3 o'clock a.m., 3 in the morning. And you write that like this. Three, dot, dot, 2 zeros, a.m. That says 3 o'clock in the morning, so early in the morning that the sun hasn't come up yet. You're still sleeping. If it's anything like my house, I get up and go to the bathroom around 3 in the morning, right? And then I go back to bed, and I start having another good dream for another hour. My minute hand goes all the way around. And we'll learn how to count by the minutes too. And now it's 4 a.m. 4 o'clock in the morning, and you would write that with a 4, dot, dot, 0, 0. And now I'm still dreaming. Now, if we were back in school, my minute hand's going around, and now it's 5 a.m., and guess what? If we were at school, I would be waking up at 5 a.m. because I would have to drive to school, and that would take me a while. So 5 a.m. used to be my wake-up time. Now I'm still sleeping and hopefully having a good dream, and it goes around again. And now it's going around, going around. The big hand goes around. And the little hand changes too. Now it's 6 a.m. And this is the time I wake up now, 6 a.m. And maybe it's starting to get a little light out. Sunrise, the sun is just starting to come out. It's 6 a.m. and I wake up and I go to the bathroom and I take my shower. I have my coffee and all this is happening. And the minute hand goes around again. Oh, just that minute hand's going around. And now, hard to move those hands sometimes. Now, the big hand's on the 12, the little hand's on the 7. It's 7 a.m. And guess what? My son just woke up. It's 7 a.m. He woke up and he wants his breakfast. So we get him up. He brushes his teeth. He washes his face. He uses the bathroom. And while he's doing that, I am posting on Class Dojo, and then I'm going to make the breakfast, and all that happens in the next hour, and the next hour is now the big hand on the 12, the little hand on the 8. It's now 8 a.m. if we were at PS 81, we would all be at PS 81 at 8 a.m. I'm going to write 8 a.m. And I think you are probably waking up at 8 a.m. and checking the class dojo and asking mommy for breakfast at 8 a.m. And then next hour comes, you've eaten your breakfast. Some of you are starting your work on the class dojo. And now if it's a Tuesday, in between 8 and the next one, we're going to start our meeting on Teams. And now it's the next hour, and it is now 9 a.m. Big hand on the 12, little hand on the 9. It is 9 o'clock a.m. And hopefully by now you've eaten. Maybe you're going to take a shower. Maybe you're going to sit down and do some work from the class dojo and watch a story. Maybe you're helping mommy make breakfast for your brother. And all that's happening. And the minute hand's going around. And the hour hand goes up to the next number. And it is now, that says 10 a.m. Big hands on the 12, small hands on the 10 is 10 a.m. And at 10 a.m., maybe you finished your story and your letter of the week work, and maybe you're going to look to see what the music teacher posted, or maybe you're going to do some math work, maybe you're going on Lexia, you're doing some more schoolwork, and another hour is going by, and that minute hand's going around, and that minute hand is back on the 12, and now it is 11 o'clock, right? So whatever that shorthand is pointing to, that's the hour. It's 11 a.m. And hopefully by now you finished your schoolwork. You could do some Go Noodle. If it's a nice day out, you can go outside. Maybe you want to check YouTube for the butterfly cam, or maybe you want to watch your favorite show, and it's 11 a.m. So you're going to exercise and have fun or watch a show. And now all this is happening in the next hour. And now look what time it is. This is now 12 o'clock p.m. This is now what we call, and I'll write it, 12 o'clock p.m. It's noon. They call this noon. Noon is lunchtime. It's definitely time for lunch. So maybe you're helping your mommy make lunch, or maybe daddy's made it for you today. And you're eating now, and so yummy. You're all eating together. And you're going to start cleaning up. And now, it is now 1 o'clock p.m. Right? It's 1 o'clock p.m. I would write that the same way with my 1, my 2 zeros, and the p.m. Maybe you are working on a project at 1 p.m. You want to paint. Maybe you're taking, my son takes a Taekwondo class. On YouTube, he puts the class and he does Taekwondo. Maybe you're doing your hip hop dance class now. Or maybe you're still outside or helping your mom with the laundry. And all this is happening in a whole hour. gonna go by. And now this is 2 p.m. Okay. Now, if we were back at PS 81, at 2 p.m., your mommies would be picking you up. You would be going home. But now you're already home, so you are maybe playing with your toys now. Maybe playing with your dolls. Maybe playing with Lego. Maybe you're playing with your cars. Maybe you're on the ABC. And all that's happening. And another hour goes by. And it's now 3 p.m. 3 o'clock p.m. And by now, I'm usually either making videos or I'm trying to figure out what to do for the next day for our class. And I'm starting to think about what to make for dinner. And that's 3 o'clock. And all that's happening. It's going around again. And now we hit 4 o'clock p.m. And 4 o'clock p.m., I've also been helping my son with all of his work all day. So maybe I'm checking it and sending it to his teacher. And he's helping me set the table and prepare the dinner. And that's gonna take another hour. And here we are, it's 5 p.m. We're going to eat dinner. So now I'm taking the dinner out of the oven. We're putting the plates on the table. We're setting the table. We're all sitting down to eat. And another hour goes by. And it's now 6 p.m. And that's 6 p.m. See, it looks like a straight line, 6 p.m. And by now, we're putting the dishes in the dishwasher. We finished our food. My son is maybe watching one of his favorite shows or playing on his iPad, one of his favorite games. And that's another hour that goes by in the day. And now it is 7 p.m. And at this point, I'm pretty tired. Maybe my son needs a bath. I help him in the bath. Maybe we're reading a book. And another hour will go by with us reading or taking a bath. And it becomes 8 p.m. And by 8 p.m., I'm pretty tired. I'm almost ready for bed. And maybe I'm cleaning up the house just a little bit and getting everything ready to go to bed, brushing our teeth. And another hour goes by. We're reading a bedtime story. And by the time 9 o'clock comes, we are ready for sleep. We're in our beds. Maybe we're watching a cute cartoon or something quickly just before we shut the lights off and go to sleep. And it's 9 o'clock, we're in bed, and by 10 o'clock, we are totally asleep. And it's 10 o'clock and we're sleeping at 10 p.m. This is how I would write 10 p.m. 10 p.m. And one more hour goes by. It's now 11. We're still sleeping. Right? And another one goes by. And this is where we started. At 12 a.m. is where we started when I started talking about our day and telling time. So we're back to 12 a.m. and the day starts over again. That's how to tell time by the hour. The big hand on the 12, The little hand tells me the o'clock. If it's on the 1, it's 1 o'clock. If it's on the 2, it's 2 o'clock. If it's on the 3, 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Back to 12 again. And the way you can write it in words, this is when I go to bed, 9 o'clock. So you can write it or like that, 9 p.m. And that's our first lesson in telling time to the hour. Next time we'll talk about telling time to the half hour. I hope you enjoyed telling time with me. Maybe you can make your own clock, and I will see you next time. Good night, boys and girls.